and I'm very happy to be back again with the interesting webinar where I will be presenting my thoughts and what we have come up and what Cyber Warfare Labs has been doing on these ends. So today's webinar topic is red teaming a bank, simulating APT attacks in a realistic cyber range labs. So what and why banks, etc. So we'll discuss and cover the things as soon as possible, as soon as we start the things. But first of all, I would like to thank all of you to be present in this interesting webinar where I will share my thoughts related to the same. And at the end, you will be getting and receiving the certificate based on the attendance, right? So yeah, so let's quickly start with the things and understand the technical aspects of the same. So let's start with the red team objective, right? So most of you who knows Cyber Warfare Labs and have been in the cybersecurity space for a while. So most of you know that we are into the red teaming part as well as in other domains like blue and purple teaming stuff. So at every phase, like even if our customers are from the beginner domain or they are upskilling or they are the seasoned professional, so they sometimes understand that they want to come into the red teaming part because this word is very attractive, and everyone is very interested to know like how the red teaming is performed and how the operators or the seasoned professionals actually execute these operations. So I will just shed a light on this and how you as a an entry level professional or didn't know about the security but still want to get into these things or want to excel one day at this, how you can get into this. So I will cover few of these topics in the section in this particular webinar. So let's start with the red team objective. So first of all, at MNCs or at very big companies or the companies who are doing red team assessments, for example, Mendiant, who is a part of Google right now, they have very good consultants, very good researchers who are doing all these kind of stuff on a regular basis. So what is their objective, right? What they desire for, what is their day-to-day job looks like, what do they want? So first of all, the researchers or the red team engineers, analysts, they are always looking for the new APT techniques that are used in the wild or how the APT groups are exploiting the things that are out there. So that is the first thing, that is the new APT technique simulation. So they try to understand the attacks that has been happening in the wild. So the recent one would be ClickFix, let's say. So ClickFix is one of the interesting phishing vector that has been introduced by the researchers. And what this do is there are in the phishing part, the attackers can actually lure the users, the victim, into entering the credentials or typing in some of the things into it or executing some malicious commands on their own machine. So all these kind of techniques that are used in the wild, so the red team tries to track all these things regularly on a regular basis. They have multiple threat intel fields coming in to just to be updated with what is happening in the cyberspace. So it's a very a demanding job, and everyone actually wants to get into the red teaming, but what they have to have in order to be in that position is actually very difficult, and it's very difficult to manage if you are on that position, because you have a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to work on, and the threat intel fields is are just notifying you again and again like what all things are happening, how you can cope up with the recent attacks, the recent groups that you are tracking, etc. So initially, the first objective of any of the red team, either they are the newly formed red team or they are the seasoned professional, they want to understand the new APT techniques, right? What they are using in the wild. So that is the first thing. Then second is they test the critical access to infrastructure. So any way that is possible. That's why, and that's how it is different from penetration testing. So if a red team, which is a group of people who are well versed in multiple domains, they try to, they sit and they understand how, and they create a plan on how they can actually penetrate an environment with all the methods that they can employ and deploy. So few example being phishing, few other example, it could be the the physical assessments, the physical red teaming. Then if there are any exposed Wi-Fi or public Wi-Fi networks, how they can get entry into it. So there are a lot of interesting things that they do, and they have a very wide scope, as in they can employ all the techniques. Their objective is similar, is it's very high. So based on the objective, they try to get into that particular organization, or in the same internal assessment if they are doing. So they try to understand and complete the stuff directly on their own. So in any way, if they can found any weak link, any misconfiguration, or any vulnerability in the environment, that is how they propagate and move forward into the environment or to the infrastructure. So the testing critical access part, for example, work from home. A lot of people, even the people who have joined right now, they are doing work remotely. They connect to the VPN on day-to-day basis, or they use some VDA solutions, etc., in order to get access to the environment. So everything, things like this are of high value targets to the red team, because they try to see how they can get access to the same environment, right? So that is how the things are. And third is security defense testing. So organization obviously deploy a lot of security controls, as in network based or host based, right? Then proxies, the DLPs, lot of security controls are deployed in the organization. So these SOC team, right, or the blue team, they depends on, relies on these tools, because whatever logs they are giving and feeding, and what they are viewing in their portal, in their 24 by 7 monitoring screen, uh, everything, it depends on these security tools or these defensive solution, right? So that is why a major of the organization posture is depend on the the tools that they are using, because that is what giving them visibility into the network. And from the network, obviously bigger organization, that means lot of infrastructure, lot of things to look at, and a lot of networking overhead. So these security tools or these defenses make the work easy for the blue team, or the SOC team, to actually understand and monitor what is happening in the environment, and how they can get better visibility into it. So these are some of the very basic red team objective. It may differ, it could be more, but at the end they want something critical which impacts the organization, right? So that is what the things are, but the objective is the same. Red team performs the stuff only and only to enhance the detection and monitoring, and as well as improve the security posture of the organization, right? So that is the main goal. Whatever the objective could be, it could be to simulate an APT, it could be to test an critical infrastructure, but the objective is the same, that is to remediate any vulnerabilities, or the detection part that is there, how we can enhance it. That is the main goal in the red team objectives. Then what do they follow, right? So there are a lot of things that are there. So I'm just giving some and shedding some light on how these people actually operate, and what do they follow. So they set an objective and scope of red team assessment. That means, what is the scope, right? Are we allowed to do Wi-Fi penetration testing? Are we allowed to access the critical resources? Are we allowed to do phishing or not? So all these things are defined under the scope. So red team obviously has a very wide scope than comparison to the penetration testers, but still how the things are defined totally depends on the objective. As I mentioned in the previous slides, the objective could be very different. Let it be access of any high privilege target, or accessing any critical resource. It could be anything, but the scope has to be defined, and based on the scope the red team operates in the same. So in the scope, if it is mentioned to the red teams that they are not allowed to do phishing, so they will not follow the phishing method, they will employ other methods. And even if they are successful in the first attempt, they try to get to the managers, to the red team leads, and they provide them authenticated credentials, or the user boxes through which they can perform the internal assessments, right? So that's how the things work. Then they follow research and vetted offensive security tooling, or OSTs. So you might be viewing that there are a lot of murmur around the OSTs, the open source, or these offensive security tooling, which are already open, and the techniques. So red team actually does a lot of work on the research part to come up with some of the tools, right? And these tools are not only simple tools that any of the user can execute and then come up with a stuff. So these are very highly researched and very deeply researched, obviously, in these cases, and based on that they try to come up with these kind of tools with these kind of formats. So all these are very well researched, and depends on the scenario that they encounter. That's how you will see that, for example, just take an example of Active Directory, right? How it come up to be of utmost important, and why hackers are targeting it, why everyone wants to learn this new technology. Because during assessment it has been found that AD is used by many organizations internally, and there is very less replacement of the same. So that's how the red team has thought that this is a very important and critical aspects in any organization posture. And that's how they have developed these offensive tools related to the AD. Same if you talk about things in the cloud, there are many things which, or the areas which are still unexplored, and red team still try to come up with new interesting stuff. And these things takes time, right? All these researches, because you have to understand, read through a lot of documentation, papers, etc. So this is average day to day life of how the team operates. Then third is very important. This is OPSEC safe infrastructure for assessment. So from where the red team performs their operation, right? So they need to have a safe infrastructure, or a kind of a posture of their own, from where they can perform these kind of things, right? So that is the OPSEC, that is operational security safe infrastructure. They don't want that the SOC team or the blue team tracks back to them, and it can burn their tools, it can burn their TTPs, whatever they are using. So they try to make it very operationally secure. So whatever operation they are in, they try to be very stealth in that, and try multiple times locally even trying and going straight to the production. So you will not find, you will rarely find tools, or these users, sorry, the red teams directly going into the production. First of all, they have a very proper infrastructure set up locally to test the things that are there. That is the simulation. For example, if an organization is using, let's say, a well-named company EDR, right? So they don't directly go to the production and run their tools and then say that it worked or it didn't work. Obviously they can't do that, right? So there is a local deployment in their own premise where they can test these things out. So that is how the things are, and once they have tested carefully, then they proceed to the production environment for testing and all. So that's how the things are. Then roadmap and success criteria. So what is a roadmap? That means how long the red team engagement will be in an in a period. So it could be of a week, it could be of a quarter, right? It could run till 6 months, depends on the objective that they have set, right? So that is the thing. And what is the success criteria? So for some of the red team, accessing the mailbox of high privileged users are the success criteria, or reaching to the very high level target. For example, in Azure it's called global admin. or let's say project owner in GCP, or maybe domain admin in Active Directory. So red team generally tries to get hold of these privileged user accounts, or maybe mailbox, or maybe PII, customer information, etc., whichever is stored in the organization database. So that's what they try to look towards when they are setting up the objective and the success criteria. So if they have these kind of things, that means the you know the assessment for that quarter or for that period is finished. So that's how the things are defined, and that's what they follow. Now, talking about the bank infrastructure, since we have been doing the assessments previously, and we have found these resources and these tools used a lot, right? So, major of the bank use the identity providers, that is Azure or their own Active Directory, right? They use this for authenticating the other users, that is their customers or their employees, either of them, or it could be both, right? Depends on the requirements. But we have seen that major of the organization or the banks enterprise IT teams, they use the hybrid architecture for logging in and for deploying the stuff, right? So that's how the customers or the employees of a bank, both of them, access the environment, right, using these things, that is the identity provider, Azure or the AD. So that's how they access the environment. Then second are the endpoint security tools. You will find a lot of them. This varies. There's a lot of variety on this: network based, host based, and other stuff. So you will see that endpoint security tools deployed on the same. Then bank resources contains interesting stuff. For example, file server, developer machines, application servers, databases, PAM solution, that is privilege access management. It's very important thing that we have encountered during the engagements and all. And these are many of the things that are deployed directly in the bank resource or in the premise of the bank. But we have seen that Active Directory is heavily used for maintaining and managing the employees of any of the bank. So that is what we have seen previously. And these are some of the bank critical resources. For example, the admin boxes, Exchange server, where which is actually treated in tier 0 or tier 1, right? Then Bastion host or the secrets manager, where all the credentials are stored. And obviously, because banks have a lot of customers, right? And it also deals with the very important thing in our life, that is money, right? So all these information needs to be stored in a proper way. It has to be compliant, and it has to be um, you know uh, uh, processed in a proper way, that like all the information has to be transmitted in a proper way. So all the things are stored, things like this. Then they have tools, etc. For example, Elastic, Maze, or other commercial tools which I haven't included in the slide, they also have these kind of things in the same. So these are the bank critical resources. Now, understand the attack surface of any of the bank by just looking at the things that are present in the slide. So the red team has to categorize which particular part to attack first. It depends on the objective, right? So, for example, if the red team wants to understand the actional posture of the organization or the bank, they try to understand and see what all misconfiguration they can identify in the identity providers, that is the Azure or these ADs or any other identity provider that is there. Then there is another attack vector, that is endpoint security tools. It could be the antiviruses or network monitoring security tools, etc., which are there. Or they get into the internal environment. Let's say if they do not find anything in the outside, that means it's fully secure, right? That means as of now till date they haven't found anything other than the basic stuff, like after performing phishing and all. So they get into the internal environment either by the manager provides them access to the low user credentials, or they fish any of the user to get access to the same. So there are a couple of ways. If they are not able to get the credentials, let's say in a week or so, or maybe couple of weeks, then they um, you know uh, get access to the low user credentials of the internal environment, then they start the assessment directly from there. And internally, whatever they find, they try to patch it, they try to exploit it, move forward, but their objective remains the same, right? It could be to access the mailboxes, or it can be anything, right? To, let's say, get access to the secret server, basically to find a loophole in the organization. Then scope and techniques. So as I already mentioned, that the scope is, if the red team scope is, let's say, external assessment, that they are doing things externally from the outside, right? So major of the techniques that they will follow are reconnaissance, enumeration, or phishing, right? If it is an internal assessment, that means they are only evaluating the internal posture of the organization where the critical resources are deployed. That means they will be doing the things in an authenticated fashion, right? In an authenticated fashion, that means they are already authenticated, then they are performing the you know network sweeping and misconfiguration identification, etc. So they do via these techniques like authenticated enumeration, privilege escalation, and then they maintain dominance in the environment. For example, once they're inside the environment, they try to look towards high privilege resources or high value targets to proceed forward. Then if it is a full-fledged assessment, that means if it contains both external as well as internal, then they simulate the TTPs and perform the stuff directly from the reconnaissance to the privilege access. That means when they do not know any information, they do not have any information related to the organization, they see what all are the exposed assets of the things, and then they move towards the privilege access. So that's how the things are defined in the scope and the techniques. Then the objective, which is very important. So in the objective, they try to see the high value target credential access. For example, if the objective is this, to obtain a high value target credential access, right? So what is the value? They will get privilege access to the internal environment, right? And you need to understand this thing, and this is very important. That is, um, if red team is not able to identify, then there are these APT groups, right, who are always scanning the internet, like understanding how they can exploit and leverage the things in a bad way, right? So if they are doing the things in a bad way, in a bad manner, that means it's a huge loss to the resources or to the financial stuff related to the organization. So that's why the red team basically try to simulate these attacks in order to fine grain the things and remediate the things that they have identified as soon as possible, right? So that's what the main objective of any red team is. Then, if the objective is infrastructure access, it could be in any fashion, it could be web based, network based, in any fashion. So they try to do the pivoting and then expand further, right? They perform more things, privileged things after that. Or if the objective is that they try to evade the security controls, so they also proceed with it. They try to execute payloads and bypass proxies in the boxes. If they are able to achieve this objective, then what is the value that they will get, right? So that is what this slide is about. Now, if the objective is that you need to access the C-level executive box, that means any of the C-level executive, it could be CEO, chief, technical officer, or it could be anyone on the C-level tier. So if the objective is that, then the value is that they have access to the sensitive information. So that's how the things are defined based on the objectives. Now, what we are coming up, that is cyber warfare lab is coming up, is a scenario based APT labs, right? So our fundamentals are very clear, and the fundamentals are that we want to provide realistic scenarios and top tech coverage, right? So that is the main important thing that we are focusing on. We want to offer realistic simulation as well as top tech stack coverage. So that is how the things are. Then the our customers should be able to execute the red team simulation. They should be able to simulate the red team from reconnaissance to data exfiltration. So some of the users who haven't even explored this domain, that is red team, or wants to come into the red team, or let's say they are already seasoned professionals and still want to start with the flow and start with the process, so they should be able to easily do that. So that is what they things are about. Then they learn the hacking by scenario based APT labs, for example theme based. So if you are into bank based scenario or let's say if you are into any other IT banks or let's say any other financial institutions. So we will try to create the simulation of these organization, and we make them intentionally vulnerable so that people try to hack in, understand what all misconfiguration or vulnerabilities lies in the same, and then upskill themselves in that particular sector or in particular domain. So that is what the main idea is all about. So our domain is very wide. We will be covering, and we have covered things related to identity providers, containerized application, AD, cloud, etc., and a lot other things in a realistic scenario. So that is what our offering is. So yeah, introducing this challenge, that is hack into the trust bank. That is one of the simulation that we have developed, and all the things will be very closely knitted with how an red team function, right? How you will be starting with an objective, then moving forward towards hacking into an actual enterprise IT bank. That is in dummy it's called trust bank in this particular case, and how you will be propagating as a red team, right? So that is the what the main objective is for what we have what we have offered and what we have come up with. So inside this kind of a scenario that we have developed, you will find and you will get to know a lot of interesting things by doing things practically, right? And the best thing is that it is not only focused on the traditional ones. That is not our focus. Our major focus is how we can provide you more advanced and up to date realistic scenarios. So that is what our main objective is. For example, here you will be starting as a red team specialist. We will be providing you with some of the objectives, like how you can get initial access, whatever these things are. Then you will be simulating the TTP of an group, that is an hacking group. So you will be completely acting as a red team, and doing by doing that you will move forward towards the network and to the other end, right? So that is how the things are. The scope of engagement, everything is present inside this. Then you will find a lot of interesting services and lot of interesting machines inside this, and this is for all the users who want to get into the red team or who are actually doing these kind of assessments. Basically, a kind of a bank based or financial based assessments previously, where they encounter things related to financial structure, maybe things related to identity providers or active directory, right? Things related to that. So we have tried to come up with this, and this is not the only lab that we have come up with. There will be multiple and many labs coming in future, which will be realistic. So one good example that I can give, I thought that some of the people who have joined previously, in the webinars I've already told and given a spoiler as well, that we have come up with interesting hacks previously. For example, one of the thing that is already in the development phase is the Uber hack, right? So Uber hack, you already know that one this automobile uh, transport company, taxi company called Uber, was breached by some youngster a couple of years back, right? So we have analyzed the actual way, like based on the reports that the company has provided and the timeline, etc. So based on that, we have built the exact simulation of how the attackers were able to compromise the organization and then got access to the critical resource. So you will be acting as a red team in all these case scenarios and understand how the actual attacker propagates. So the idea is, no matter if you are on the blue team side or on the red team side, the idea is to understand the attacker mindset, right? And by doing the things practically, how these things are possible, right? So this particular challenge is present at the Infinity portal. That is the one portal that we have recently launched. So you can quickly go to this infinity.cyberwarfare.live. That is one of our product that we recently launched. And here we have multiple other domains: cloud, DevOps, Kubernetes, on-premise, and APT labs, right? So the interesting one that we have come up with is the APT labs, right? So this is the scenario that is present here. That is trust bank breach here. So this is how the things looks like. You can see, right? You will get to know the description, what exactly you will be doing, as well as a solution to that is also available, like how you will be proceeding with the simulation and how you will move forward in the same. So all the things are already present. Then in between you have to provide the flags and all, right? So it's a challenge, right? You have to proceed with this particular lab and then try out the flags or whatever things are, and based on that you will learn a lot of things. When you progress actually inside this particular lab, you will get to learn a lot of things, right? And our team is here to provide the support in case you stuck at any point. This particular solution is available. You can go to the portal and then try it out after this lab, after this webinar, sorry. And once this is done, feel free to share with your colleagues, your friends, or whoever wants to go with it. So and keep watching this space because it will be filled with many interesting ones, not only the one that we are organizing the webinar for. You can also check out the other labs that we have come up with. For example, crypto exchange heist by Lazarus Group, that is DPRK, North Korea Group, and the others. So all of these scenarios that is present in this is inspired by the hacks that were previously happened, right? So that is the main idea, and I strongly suggest to explore the Infinity platform. You will get to learn not only the practical aspects but also how the things actually work in real red team ops, right? It's no fluff. It's actually very interesting concept to look at and interesting things to look at. We have put our timings, a lot of timing on the creation and understanding of these things. So definitely you will love this a lot, right? So that is what I have to say for this particular stuff. And there are other domains as well. If you are interested, let's say, on any other things, let it be cloud, DevOps, Kubernetes, on-premise, etc. So we have the challenges and plans for both, that is for the red team and for the blue team both. So feel free to try it out and explore the things. There are paid challenges, there are free challenges as well, right? So if you like the things, just first of all try out our free challenges. If you actually like it, then you can share the things over social media, see the paid challenges and all, and yeah, all these things directly from the Infinity portal itself. So yeah, that is how the things are. And um, yeah, so that is all about this interesting and quick webinar where I had talked about a bit on how the attackers actually progresses, and how the red team basically progresses, sorry, and perform this stuff and all. So that is what the main idea is. And if anyone have any doubts or any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm here for a couple of minutes. Please let me know. And I actually would like to thank all of you for giving your important time, for giving your valuable time to us by presenting here. And and attending this interesting webinar. So yeah, that is how the things are. And yeah, few things that I will reiterate, sorry, those who have already heard this, but you all will receive the attendance certificate. Feel free to tag and share across social media platforms. So feel free to share the things across social media platforms and tag us, right? If you have any questions related to the same, feel free to let us know. And I strongly suggest to please try this challenge out. This will, this is a game changer in what we have come up with, right? So yeah. And related to this 10 Infinity subscribers, so we will be giving away 1 month of free to 10 users or 10 subscribers. I think Nandini has already mentioned previously. So that will be randomly selected and will be announced early next week before Wednesday. So that is how the things are. And you will learn a lot on this platform, right? It's not only for beginners or for seasoned professionals, it is for all. The main idea behind that is to train everyone, right? And everyone has a opportunity to learn the cybersecurity, because this is one of the very growing domain. If you compare this with AI, everything is fit inside the cybersecurity. This is going to stay, even after this AI age and all, right? Because whatever is out there, we have to protect it. That is our main duty. And whatever is coming in, we have to, have it and integrate and see how the things, how we can best utilize these things out of it. So yeah, I think that is how the things are. So there are few, questions related to the same. So people are asking about the premium giveaway and all. So yes, you will, not all, but I think 10 of that what we have promised. Um, they will receive the uh, coupon codes via their mail, and then yeah, so you can directly enroll from the website itself. So that's how the things will be in here. There are a few other questions related to the technical aspects and all. So yeah, there are a lot of things. I think there is very good suggestion by one person. He mentioned that you can organize a more detailed webinar on how the red team operates, or how a red team actually progresses in assessment. Yes, definitely. So all these, see, there are a lot of things to explore, right? We are very open to the suggestion. So if you want us to organize a webinar on any specific topic related to cybersecurity, please let us know. We are very happy to do that, right? And we only want your support, your love, and your shout out. So that's the only thing. Yes, the PowerPoint and all this slides will be shared and mailed to you as soon as the webinar ends. So you all of you will receive an email with the attendance certificate and with the presentation that we seen today. It will also be available on our website, that is cyberwarfare.live. And feel free to check it out next week, early next week. We will be doing this. Yeah. So I think few of the uh, candidates are still asking about the platform, Infinity platform. So I suggest, right, just try it out, just check it out how the things are. And if there is anything, please drop an email to support or at infinity at cyberwarfare.live. So both the mails, we have a very dedicated support team who is completely running in and providing support to all of them. So yeah, that is how the things are. And still, if anyone have any things to look at, so we are still running this offer on certified red team analyst. This is one of the best courses for the users who actually want to get into the red teaming. That is red team analyst. We are currently offering this at only $9, right? So just feel free to try it out and check all the contents and all the labs and all what all them looks like. This is meant for the beginners, those who are seasoned professionals and want to explore more into the red team or any other domain, we have courses starting from beginner level to the advanced level, with which contains the practice labs as well as the examination attempts both, right? And we provide the feasibility to the users as well as other things, so that they can activate the things anytime after they purchase. So that is what we have come up with. So yeah, I think uh, thanks, Willie. He mentioned that loved the lab of CRT. It was amazing. Yeah, thank you. So actually, we have got very good traction on these same. And if anyone have any recommendation, please let us know. We are always open to recommendation feedbacks. That is what the things are. And I think most of you are still waiting to get the certificate, plus look into the offerings that we have. Feel free to check it out, right? And please share with your among your friends, your colleagues, and in your cybersecurity community. Please support us, and we are here to provide you the best that we can. We are all ears. Please let us know how we can improve and how we can move forward with you, right? So please let us know. So yeah, I think that's all for this quick webinar, and see you again next week, same time. I think I might not be there, but someone from our team will present the same. So we are always organizing these kind of webinars where all of us get to learn a lot of things. We get to receive feedback. Our attendees get to learn new things, right? A lot of things to look at, a lot of things to learn and upskill ourselves. That is what the main things are. So yeah, thank you all. I really appreciate and love that all of you has given your valuable time, and thanks for being present here. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'm very happy today because of all of your love and the support that you are giving us. So yeah, thank you all. Thanks a lot. I will just leave. Thank you. Thanks.